So as it is now, what will be his prayer if he's still kicking, saying, well, he's the rightful owner of that particular position, talking about the candidacy of the APC in that particular election. We already have a governor-elect in Kogi State. If he proceeds, he approaches the court, what do you think will be his prayer?
Well, I can craft a prayer for a cause I don't believe in. So you have to believe in the particular cause before you can craft a prayer for a particular person of that nature. I don't understand what he wants to do. One, he's saying in one breath he's not a candidate in the election, and now the poll has been held. So he doesn't even have any grounds to go to the election tribunal. That is a big problem on his neck. Now, another thing you need to observe is that even PDP on its own is also having its own problem. PDP has its own angle, saying that we were running a race with somebody. The person had fallen, they had died. He's no longer in the race. So we took second in the race. So declare us the winner. That's what PDP is saying on their own. For all intents and purposes, they know the reason why they are saying that, and everybody has a right to approach the court. But what we say in the African Bar Association is, for God's sake, let us give honor to honor is due. Let us follow due process. The courts are available. Stop overheating the polity, creating mayhem everywhere. People are rioting, demonstrating, blocking roads and highways. It's not necessary.
Just a moment. What then would be the fate of the APC if Faleke insists he's not a candidate and refuses, to step into the position, and then, they go on back and forth? What is the fate of the APC since a governor-elect or a governorship candidate cannot run an election without a deputy? What is the fate of
that is exactly what I was trying to point out. In the eyes of the law, Faleke remains a deputy governorship candidate. When Bello has been declared a governor, when he's sworn in, he has a right to pick somebody else and take him to the House of Assembly for approval. I think it's simple majority as deputy governor. So I don't think what he's running about doing does make a lot of sense to me. It doesn't make sense. Because at the end of the day, you will find out that what part of this whole thing we are saying, because people went about talking about the doctrine of shared votes, wasted votes, this, that, they are saying all kinds of things. But they forget that the way the constitution has been crafted and the electoral, the party has a lot of power. Take, for instance, they are not, because you have to read the entire constitution to know what's going on. If you resign as governor from your party, what happens? You are expected to vacate the seat. If you resign, so you can see that the party itself is the main vehicle for running. So what is going on here now is that INEC, looking at every circumstance, have decided to say, look, it is the party that is the main issue here. So that's the reason why they said, give us another candidate. And the party has done what is within its powers, or what power it has been given. So I believe that we should not just be looking at these things as if it's just in one full swoop. You do one part of the constitution and say it is okay. I've just quoted to you now, you've seen that if a senator resigns from his party, except in some circumstances, when they said maybe the party is no longer in existence, or there's a division in the party and all that. But ordinarily, if you leave a party with which you ascended power, you are expected to vacate that seat.
Very quickly, sorry, Nyota, very quickly, still on this particular matter, one thought we should start asking the question about the role of a running mate or a deputy. If you're as good as a running mate, you're as good as the number one, isn't it?
That's correct. I agree with you. But that's what section 181 or so of the Constitution, provides. If you are a running mate to a governor, just like what happened in the case of Atiku Abubakar when he became vice president. Of course, the deputy governor will be sworn in, but this time around, the elections have not been concluded. So you cannot claim anything there. And then the party itself is afraid of what the consequences of substituting the dead candidate with a candidate that did not contest the primaries.
Because that will also be flouting.
That will also become a problem in the tribunal. So I think in the circumstances
you think they were playing safe?
Yes, in the circumstances of the case, I want to fully stand behind the APC. Even though I'm not a politician, I will fully want to stand behind them because they played very safe. And after all this, believe you me, the ultimate is the judicial interpretation.
Let's see.
So we are going to see judicial interpretation.
Let's see where you stand in the case of Bayelsa, because some are saying there's no semblance with what we have seen in Kogi and Bayelsa, other than the word inconclusive. Your reading of Bayelsa election, did that come to you as a surprise?
Well, yes, to a large extent, that is a surprise. But you see, the problem of Bayelsa, with all due respect, becomes a little bit more complex because of the militant activities that are going on, that goes on and on and on in Bayelsa unabated. I think the federal government has a responsibility to bring law and order to Bayelsa. It's very important because Bayelsa is a part and parcel of this country and very important state in this country. You know, we have a lot of oil coming from there, and we have our number one citizen also coming from there. You know, we believe that Bayelsa should be held for good cause. But the way things are going, people burning down INEC offices, seizing electoral materials, militants shooting guns and driving away people. I mean, it's uncalled for.
I was going to ask you the role of the citizen in all of this. For Bayelsa, for instance, the electorate. What role can they play to ensure that violence in elections are reduced to the barest minimum?
I think it has to, the last time I came to this program, I said that, you know, we have a lot of problems, and the problems we have, which I believe President Buhari should focus on more, is discipline in our polity, in our country. At the moment, Nigeria does not have what we call ethos. We don't have national ethos. Those days we were growing up in schools, we used to be taught a lot of moral lessons about your country, citizenship, obligations, duties, and all that kind of thing. But today, nobody knows. Everybody is chasing money. But it hasn't led us anywhere. There are no good rules. There's no light. After people have collected, imagine the huge amount of money coming from the arms scandal and all that. There's no light. There's no water. So there's nothing worth fighting for the politicians, because they are just there to line their pockets. And I consider them, with all due respect, also foolish. Because at the end of the day, all this money are going to be eaten by worms. And some of them are going to be, you know, stolen by foreigners who did. So we need to educate our citizens that the proper thing to do in a country like this is to give and to share. We all need to come together to build our country. We need to give to one another. We need to take what we can take, or we need to receive what we legally, you know, what we are legally entitled to, rather than all these unnecessary things. So the people are trivializing things. I keep hearing every day when PDP, Lisa Metu talk, oh, this one, that one, when he makes comments and all that. Perhaps I don't still know that. I still believe that a lot of people should not still understand the problems of corruption in this country, the consequence and the enormity of the problems of corruption. Corruption ensures that salaries are not paid. Corruption ensures that roads are not tarred. Corruption ensures that there's no light. Corruption ensures that your child doesn't have good education. Corruption ensures that the police go about beating up people because they cannot defend themselves, because there's no means of seeking the legal redress. They don't have a so it can go on and on and on. So I believe our citizens, and that's why I want to thank channels, because most of these programs we do, use it to enlighten the public. It's very good. We want to encourage other stations to continue like this. But the government on its own must bring out its machinery to go all out. Those that used to have public enlightenment campaigns, we must begin to go out and to enlighten our people, to tell them, look, fighting for a particular destination, the people who are running elections in Bayelsa are Bayelsans. They come from the same state. They don't come from another state. So what is this issue of, you know, some will say, oh, we are lining up behind Jonathan. Some say we are lining up behind Buhari. Buhari and Jonathan are citizens of this country. I don't think President Jonathan will ever encourage anybody to go and, you know, be killing people because of elections. I don't think President Buhari will also do so. So what is the issue?